Alright, I thought I'd do a quick little video just to show you a little bit of behind the scenes in making this short, quick animation, which, granted, is not very good. I haven't done an animation in years, so yeah, I thought I'd just do this. It's more just a little animation test, and yeah, I'll just show off some of the Daleks that were used in this. First of all, so we've got the B&M Genesis Dalek here. Not really much to say about that. This is one of the ones where I swapped the domes, so it had the correct circle but also the correct dome like. So that one was used there for the main part. In terms of the scientists, Daleks, this one I didn't paint the gun black on this one. This one actually, and I'll do it now. This one I just swapped with one of these broken Renegade Daleks, but it had its gun, and I just swapped it with that because this one, if I can grab it and put it back, there we go. This one is obviously the one, there we go, that has, there we go, collecting the machine gun. So yeah, that's why I swapped that one out. This one I did actually use a permanent marker to make the gun black, and these are also the ones I did the video on painting the entirety of these black. And for a third one that was only needed briefly, I just grabbed my sound effects one, which was off the shelf, and as you can see, it is absolutely caked in dust. This one's a little bit beaten up, and that's because this one, once upon a time, used to be my brother's, and I bought it off him years ago, I think for £10 or something like that. Which, yeah, but that's those three, and then these three at the back, or four, I should say, at the back. So we've got two Chase Daleks, but one of them I swapped out to have, in fact, this one technically was originally an Emperor's Guard, if you can tell by the hemispheres here, because the original Chase set had really light blue hemispheres rather than the darker blue ones, so basically I swapped the domes on that and also gave it the correct eye stalk. So yeah, this is the original Chase one, nothing different about that one, and that one's a modified one. And the reason I just grabbed these is, again, these were loose Daleks that I had on my shelf, because most of my Daleks are in storage in their boxes and everything. So yeah, these two, which have a bent eye stalk there, a bit of a bent one. These are two Power Daleks, which you would have seen in items to unbox, and they're both variants of power, because one of them, you can see one of them there just has completely silver, whereas the other has the darker one there. But these two I got off eBay on various auctions. This one is missing a base, but this one has the basing. Yeah. Yeah, just two regular power SFX ones, so that must mean I have 3 Power Daleks in total, because I do have a third one. Also, a big problem is that there's not a lot of space to have a lot of Daleks on screen at once, basically, because there is limited amount of space I have. And in terms of this, the stage, I guess, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod there. This is an IKEA box. This is an IKEA box, which is actually meant to slide into the units there. But yeah, I initially got these, I think back in 2021 or something like that, or possibly early 2022. And I got these for when I was transporting my records from my granny's old house to here. This is just here because I did this entirely on my phone through an animation app. If you want to know what app it is called, there we go, Stop Motion. That's the one there. So yeah, that's the app I used to do the animation. The main reason is because it's one of the only ones, at least at the time it was, that does it in 4K. This is just my light, which I placed over the top there, and I could also dim it, so in various scenes, like when the Genesis turns the power on and that, then things illuminate. I had a bit of a problem trying to find some props for this. So yeah, I was thinking, because I didn't want it to just be bare, and I grabbed this, which again is thicker dust. This is what I used. I used to just put a bunch of cables and wires that I don't really use much in. The actual tin itself, this was a part of a Lynx deodorant gift set, and this originally had, I believe, some body washes or something like that, mini ones in there. You can see it's dinted and that, but I thought if I put one of these little tea lights in there, one of the Halloween tea lights, and plopped it in there just to make it, you know, sort of glow a bit, give it a bit of life there in the background. And then for some other props, I used, I had this broken torch. You can see it's cracked and everything, but I kept it for this section here, and I realised on its own it's a bit short. And I considered, you know, possibly having that in the background, but I thought that looked a little too obvious. I thought that looked, you know, at least a bit more visually interesting. So what I did is I placed it on top of this to give it a little bit more height and give it a little bit more, you know, of an interesting look. This is actually a little clock. Now this was, well, technically it still is, a spy clock because it has a camera just there. It is an absolutely awful camera, but yeah, these were my granny's and she never used them. She had two of them. One of them is completely destroyed, but I did rescue this one. But yeah, that made the base for the torch bit, and then later on when I wanted another scene with the Dalek, I flipped it the other way around and put the bit up like something to stand it up like that, and then just made it a little base for the Dalek. The problem is that it wobbles around quite a lot and slides quite a lot around on this little thing here, so that made it a fair bit of an issue, just trying to stop it from wobbling around so much. And I noticed in a couple of instances my hands got into the shot, so yeah, slight irritation there, but you know, hopefully it all looks good and that once it's fully finished and that. Originally I wanted to do a Dalek explosion, or Dalek being destroyed. I have this extra Supreme Dalek that I got on a job lot a few years ago, and as you can see, its plungers snapped off, it's all beaten up and everything. And my plan was, and I've wanted to do this for a while, is to cut the skirt off, so this section would come in two halves, and also cut along the neck section there, so that the neck section would still remain in one piece, but it could be split into three pieces, and then repaint this into probably a Genesis Dalek. As you can see here, I marked out a line, the existing permanent marker, because I only need to cut to here, where I was going to saw it in half. Unfortunately, my dad's saw has gone walkabout. Also, I might still end up doing this, and if I do, I'll probably leave the eye stalk and the gun off, just because they're pretty, you know, they're pretty unique to this Dalek, I'll just replace them with some more generic ones that are easier to replace than that, just in case I ever need any spare ones. But yeah, there we go. This is done on my desk, and that as you can see. But yeah, there we go, people. There we go. So initially with this, looking at the animation and that, particularly with this Dalek and that, I did want to do a mutant for it. Unfortunately, what I want to do is either get make it out of possibly clay or even Play-Doh or something, or possibly some slime or some goo or something. Unfortunately, I couldn't find any, and I just wanted to get it done and over with. You might have noticed also the dome lights do not light up, and the reason is just because it's too much of a pain in the arse. It is. I remember years ago I did do a test having the Dalek dome lights light up as they talked, and it was only about 18 seconds long, and there was no animation to it, and that, you know, just took a while. And that it's not the same. It's not the same if it's 3D animation, then you can actually just map it to the dome lights. But if it's stop motion, you cannot really do that. You can't really do that, at least not to the same extent. So yeah, but yeah, that dark explosion scene in that was actually done first at the beginning, and it's the whole story in that. You know, so there wasn't really that much of a story in that to begin with. I just decided to make it a sort of sequel to the previous 3 animations that I'd done in the sort of preparation and basically the lead up to Day of the Daleks, essentially, and you know, the changing of the cases and stuff like that. Yeah, but I'm hoping it turned out all right. I just had a look at it, and yeah, I'm happy enough with that. With the Dalek voices, my sister said it was difficult to understand what they were saying. I think I know the reason why is because when I was doing it, I was talking very quickly. I might ease off a little bit next time on the distortion. I might ease off a little bit, because I find that also it can add to it, but also can subtract to the voice and that as well. So, but I'm happy enough. In total, though, in terms of physically doing the animation bit, that took just over 3 hours. But if you were to factor in doing all the editing and particularly making this Dalek, you'd be looking at somewhere in the region of 6-7 hours, possibly 8 in total for a 1.5 minute, 1 minute and 28 second, I think it is, animation. So yeah, that's why I haven't done one in a very long time, because it takes forever to do, and it's not even very good to begin with. But yeah, I just wanted to just do one again, and it was an excuse to try out this for that Dalek. So yeah, there we go.